Okay, and welcome to Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club. My name is Anarchy, and this is going to be not so much a showcase of the whole game, but a showcase of all activities. So this is, like I said, Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club. This game was released in October of 2025, so fairly brand new. And this game takes us on a couple of different adventures with with the Peanuts gang and Snoopy as our player character, where we solve a bunch of mysteries together. This is a pretty great game. However, the any percent category is pretty long. It's about 2.5 to 2 hours and 50 minutes, so it's a bit long. And over the course of that, while we're solving these different mysteries in these different chapters, we are also getting to play these different activities that we usually see. Um, and usually the game will use these to kind of progress the story in one way or another. Now, there are 7 different kinds of activities, and they each have an easy, medium, and a hard difficulty, so we're just going to be doing all of those instead of actually playing the game. So for those, we've got baseball, football, memory cards, piano session, arts and craft, not plural, Red Baron, and Soapbox Race. Um, so we're just going to go ahead and do these from baseball. So we're going to go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1, go. So all of these activities, they're basically just mini games, and they have different kinds of things that you need to do to complete them. I will be the first person to admit that this video game is kind of a baby game made for babies, so the mini games are not actually all that hard. They do get, some of them do get marginally harder with the increase in difficulty. But for the baseball one in particular, all you have to do is you have to move your stick into one of the sections of the circle there, and then hold it there, and then press the button to be able to pitch a strike to Peppermint Patty. And that is baseball 1. Charlie Brown does this little happy dance. I don't know what he's doing over there, but it looks awesome. So we're now going to go ahead and move on to baseball medium. Where, like I said, it does get marginally harder. There's now more quadrants for the for your thumb to go, and you have to hold it there. So it's not too hard, but it can it can trip you up a little bit if you're not like paying super attention. Awesome sauce. That is baseball 2, or baseball on medium. Now the baseball hard one is like low-key a little bit hard. So now you have all of those spaces that you could be made to hold there. So like that, you have to like be trying. I could see that's why this would trip up actual children who are children aged and not me who's an adult. But anyway, these minigames do actually serve a purpose in the game. Usually they're meant to kind of progress the story in specific situations. And the longer you play the game, or the farther you get into it, rather, the harder that they'll get. So those are going to be all the baseball games. We're now going to go ahead and move on to football. So for football, we are going to be also playing with Peppermint Patty again, but instead of Charlie Brown taking the field goal, it's going to be Peppermint Patty in her sandals. So for this one, all we have to do, we have to press 2 buttons. We got to power up the kick, and then make sure we put it in the zone to make our field goal. I don't know how Peppermint Patty is doing these in sandals, but she must got some strong ass feet, I'll be for real. So that's going to be football 1. Now I'm going to move on to football medium. Again, makes the zones 4 button presses, makes them a little bit smaller. Actually, quite a bit. smaller than they were. That zone, then the second one was a lot longer the first time, but yeah, it's whatever. It's no sweat off of our backs. We're good. And there we are. That's football on medium. And Peppermint Patty gets to do a little dance now. Now, as I was saying, with these kind of increases in difficulty, these do get a little deceptively hard. The football one in particular is one of those ones where it does get a little bit harder. It's like, well, it's mostly just the zone on the second press is a bit smaller, and it moves really fast. It does come back around if you miss it the first try, but it's all good. So we're now going to go ahead and move on to memory cards, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to be matching memory cards. The earlier ones in this set are particularly not that hard because it's memory cards. But the hard one does get a teensy bit hard because the cards will actually be swapped around a little bit. Usually it'll only be like one, I think maybe in the last chapter. They might move two. But now we got 8 cards here. Not gonna lie, I was not paying... Well, I was paying attention. Yeah, I was paying attention. No, I was paying attention. Got to split for easy memory cards, that is okay. And now we're gonna go to hard. It's the same amount of cards, but as I said, they get switched around a little bit. Just so I don't forget, the ones that swapped around are these two. Nice. And we're gonna do our last 2 cards here. Some sauce. That particular one comes into play once Lucy starts hanging around with us. And Charlie Brown decides that he needs some help. So we're now going to move on to, we're going to save piano sessions for later. We're going to go on to arts and craft, singular. I don't know why it's named that. That's just what it's labeled. This one is sort of a Simon Says, where in order for Marcy to make whatever concoction it is she's making, we got to follow the pattern on our controller. Now, this game is available on current-gen consoles. I'm currently playing it on PC with a controller. You cannot play this with a keyboard, which kind of sucks, but it's all good. I will say, in particular with the piano one, as we're going to see, I did struggle a little bit. I'm not used to playing games on controller. I usually play keyboard and mouse nowadays for everything. But, you gotta make sure you know your face buttons, is all I'm saying. We're now gonna move on to arts and craft. I think it's in the game, it's messed up. It's said like that both ways. It's both art and craft, art and crafts, and then also arts and craft. One of them is always singular for some reason. Which is a funny little tidbit about this game. You can see the icon for our tries or messing up. is what looks like glue. Because one of the instances where you do this minigame is you have to make glue for Franklin's soapbox car using soap, or it's like using, what is it, water and sugar, which makes no sense, but Franklin sure did race his heart out. This one gets pretty long. I do want to pay a little bit of attention here. It's not particularly hard, but as with any kind of Simon Says, if you're not paying attention, sometimes you can just mess it up inadvertently, so... There we go, that's arts and craft. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and go back to piano session. As I said, this is there are some where you really need to know the face buttons on the controller, and this one in particular, we're gonna be playing the piano with Schroeder. Also, I don't really get the difficulties for the piano sessions either, because I think all three of them are hard. That was a rare instance where you get to hear me mess up, because like I said, I'm not used to playing games like controller. I usually play everything on keyboard and mouse. There we go, that's easy. I think the only thing that changes between these ones is what the song is, but like I said, I don't really know that the difficulty actually changes there. Like, theoretically, this is not hard at all, but, like, it's like, whoa, why are they going so fast? I think for that one, whether you passes, you have to hit a certain threshold of notes in the passes, and if you don't hit all of them, then you technically you don't pass. But next, on to hard. You can see how much of a difference this makes. Also, regret to mention that this is not. I mean, you can. First off, they're not that hard, and you can practice for these anyway. But every one of these is random every time, so like they're never the same minigame. Like for example, these they play the same song, but the order I think is always different. For Marcy's arts and craft. The pattern it gives you is also always different. Same for like football and baseball. Baseball, especially what quadrant and all that is always different. So now we're going to be moving on to the soapbox race. Soapbox races. These ones do like actually like kind of increase in difficulty. There's different things going on. So for the first one, all you have to do is you have to go through the goals here. The second one will start adding like road hazards, like cracks in the ground and stuff that will slow you down and will do damage to your soapbox car. And if you hit too many, it will do damage to them. And then the last one will have, you gotta get the gates. There will be road hazards, like cracks in the ground, and there will also be like cones and stuff that will also damage your soapbox car as well. So that one, you can actually like tell the difference in difficulty. Did want to mention this one. All of the mini games kind of have a different sort of character that are associated with them. Football and baseball were both Peppermint Patty. Arts and craft was Marcy. The last one, piano session was Schroeder, and memory cards was Lucy. This one is Franklin. Franklin is personally like my favorite Peanuts side character, besides side character. If you haven't seen the special Welcome Home Franklin, that's personally one of my favorite of the newer Peanuts specials and TV shows and stuff that they do now. It's a really, really sweet story about how Franklin and Charlie Brown became friends. And one of my absolute favorite parts, if you have ever seen a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, for whatever reason, Franklin does not sit with the rest of the kids at the table. He sits all the way on the other side. And in that special, they finally let Franklin sit with the rest of the kids while they have food. And it is really cute, and I almost cried. So, really recommend watching that if you haven't ever seen it. So the soapbox race is purely, I guess we're practicing. This one doesn't have any goals, purely hits road hazards. So I don't know what the hell they're doing in this road, but they better get it fixed in time for the big run. Ooh. Success. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the last soapbox race, the hard one. This one they pulled out all the stops for. Even got the Snoopy and Woodstock balloons and everything. And this one here, you do have the actual, you can see the damage on the car. Or there's like a health bar for it. So you got cones, we've got road hazards, we've got cracks in the ground, we've got our goals we've got to get into. But this is relatively another day on the job. Theoretically, if you missed any, you would be allowed to miss 3 before the game is like, maybe you should try again. But you kind of don't even really have to get in there. You can kind of just hit you just hit a balloon on the side. That kind of will count, so. Did hit a cone, unfortunate. Our perfect record for our minigames. Technically down the drain, but like it's all good. Didn't miss any of the gates there, so it's chill. And now we are going to go ahead and move on to our final minigames, the Red Baron levels. These show up at the end of every chapter, where Snoopy gets called on to serve his mortal nemesis. The Red Baron shows up. And we gotta go fly through these goals in the sky for whatever reason. Because surely that will show the Red Baron. The Red Baron doesn't actually have to fly through any of those, so. Not sure why Snoopy does, but look, it is all good. It's so chill. It's so chill. We are surely gonna get him. But yeah, I will take these as an opportunity to just talk about this game just a little bit. As I've been saying, this game is definitely a game made for kids. It's kind of along the lines of, I like the Bluey game. Like, it's cute, like, it's fun to play with any child-aged people, it's cute. The actual speedrun of the main story itself, the chapter runs are very bite-sized. They're all self-contained, so those are very fun. The 90% run is a little bit long. And that's sometimes repetitive, because this game is very like we need to find this thing, and then certainly someone will know what to do, and then you go to that person, and that person will ask you to do something for them, and then it kind of just does that for 45 minutes, and that's the whole game. So that can be a little bit repetitive, but doing chapter runs and doing these minigame runs instead is really a great way to still experience the game and still run it and be able to show it off without it being way too long or like annoying or grating. So in this instance, no goals this time, but the Red Baron, either he's like a god or he had something really bad for dinner. So we gotta avoid those storm clouds that he can summon at will for some reason. Alright, and that is Red Baron on medium. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the last minigame in the game, which is Red Baron Hard. Now this one, like some of the other ones, they kind of combine the first two. So this one we're gonna have to fly through the goals and also avoid the storm clouds. And otherwise, this has pretty much been Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club. This is a cute little game. I really recommend that anyone who likes Peanuts or Snoopy pick it up when it's on sale. We will potentially be offering an incentive to for the chapter runs to do the Joe Cool Fun Pack, which gives Snoopy a little Joe Cool outfit, and adds some different mini games. By different, I mean I think there's 2 more Red Baron levels and 2 more Soapbox levels is what I think that adds, alongside a Joe Cool outfit, which we unfortunately won't get to see in the minigames, I think. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed seeing all of these minigames. This is a very chillax run, and it's very cute because it's Snoopy. And we're going to be coming up on time once we see the success screen. And that's time. And that is all activities for Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club in 2137. So thank you so much for watching all of these. I hope you had fun doing activities. Yeah.